Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for today's council meeting. Before we start tonight's agenda, I would like to address the whole community. Myself and council would like to welcome the new owners of Costas Foods to the Township of Schreiber. These two grocery stores we are blessed to have in Schreiber and Terrace Bay began as a dream of two Italian immigrants. These stores have thrived and provided exceptional service, quality meats, and groceries to Schreiber and surrounding communities in the North Shore. Let's not forget the dream and promise of a new beginning, which our newest property owners are looking forward to. In the coming days, let's show our continued support to Costas Fooditeria and prove that local businesses matter in Schreiber. Remember, your loyalty and support to community shopping local, ensuring that jobs and prosperity remain in our community. In other news concerning social media, keep in mind that the township nor its council members or staff will respond to any comments, negative or positive, on social media. For any complaints, please submit an online complaint form on our website, www.schreiber.ca. For any administrative rumors or concerns, please contact myself, the council, or staff for clarification. Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll begin our open session this evening with approval of the agenda. Any additions or deletions?
Can I add an addition?
Yes.
I just wanted to have a little discussion with the building closures, that's all.
Okay. Other business?
Yeah, wherever that,
Building closure?
thanks.
Any others? We have another one on, yes, the outdoor rink. That is number 3 under business. Any disclosures of interest this evening? Hearing none, then we will go into our delegation from Contact North.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Nathan.
You may begin.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much to the town and council for making some space on your agenda for me this evening. This is a follow-up from the letter I sent out via Canada Post in the middle of November. Unfortunately, I had some connectivity issues this evening. I was really wanting to present a short PowerPoint presentation to give you just a visual aspect of what we do at Contact North. But my internet at home is not working this evening, but we're happy to make do and happy to discuss over a conference call. My intention this evening is just to provide a brief outline of what we do here at Contact North. For those of you who aren't familiar of the work we do in your community. And at the end, I was hoping to receive some feedback of how I might continue to serve the residents in your community. And if you have any advice and suggestions for me, I'm very open to hearing that. So very briefly, Contact North provides online learning in your community. What we do as a community-based organization is we help Ontarians in rural, remote, Indigenous, and Francophone communities have access to education, both formal education, college and university, as well as employment and literacy programs. And we do that through connecting individuals, businesses, and so forth with online programs so that they can stay right in their homes, right in their communities, continue working or caring for their family while upgrading their skills. Contact North is in their 34th year of operations. We have 116 online learning centers across Ontario, and we responded to more than 1 million requests for services every year. So we have very recently made our online learning center in Schreiber inactive simply due to low volume, but I am happy to say we are maintaining a presence over the internet. We will continue to work with residents and businesses in Schreiber, and we are reopening a brand new online learning center in the high school in Terrace Bay, and we will be offering that location to all of the residents of Schreiber. What we do is we provide program and course information. We provide registration assistance to any individuals and businesses who need strategies to navigate that process. We provide financial aid options. One of the backbones of Contact North is the fabulous technical support we offer to any individual perhaps struggling to log on or remember their passwords or any of those little challenges that come up. We work very closely with Ontario Works, Employment Ontario, and Human Resource Department with the larger companies and municipalities. And since we opened our offices in Schreiber Terrace Bay, we have assisted with 778 individual registrations for your community members. We work with colleges and universities and school boards, basic skills providers, and literacy groups all across Ontario to, again, just to assist individuals who want to get post-secondary or perhaps even their high school credits. We have excellent relationships with Lakehead Adult Education Center in Thunder Bay, and we certainly recommend a lot of individuals to their organization as well. Not only do we offer college university, which of course the individuals have to pay for, we have thousands and upon thousands of free courses that we offer. So I try to make a consistent effort to work with the libraries and the seniors communities to make sure they are aware of some of the smaller programs we offer, soft skills such as conflict resolution and presentation skills. We have a ton of free resources on skills upgrading for computers and health and safety, as well as working within the community on creative writing or music or cooking. So there's kind of two things that we do. One's a post-secondary, and the other is just free general interest. We've done a lot of promoting recently with COVID webinars coming out, and mental health is a big, big one. And Contact North has worked really hard to put together a whole suite of both free and other programs at cost surrounding mental health, because so many people are feeling the effects of that with the COVID and the isolation that we've all been experiencing. I invite you to check out our website at studyonline.ca or give me a call directly. My name's Colleen at 807-228-3025, and I would be happy to give you more information, happy to work with any referrals that you have. But today really just wanted to give you an outline of what we do and let you know that even though our online learning center is closed in Schreiber, we maintain an active presence in your community. And at this point, not to take up too much of your time tonight, just wondering if you have any advice or suggestions on what I might do or what Contact North can do as an organization within Schreiber.
Colleen, do you have somewhere you can, besides the learning centers, can you get on and take a course from home? Is it possible to do it that way?
Yes, Absolutely, and that's what Contact North is all about. All distance online learning. It's not necessary to travel to an institution. It's not even necessary to come into our learning center. Every single one of our programs is available for you to do at home or anywhere you have access to your laptop or iPad. Even your cell phone can facilitate a course.
Thank you.
Colleen, could you give me that phone number again, please?
Yes, it is 807-228-3025.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
So Colleen, if you were taking a university course and there was a cost, you said there was grants available?
We do keep an extensive list of funding sources for any individuals who need them. So as an organization, because we're not for profit ourselves, Contact North does not offer directly bursaries. However, we're in the know about bursaries. So beyond OSAP, the provincial government and the federal government have grants and bursaries for specific groups. And for example, Confederation College has a $2,000 bursary available coming up this January for their personal support worker program.
So
So we do work with people to explore avenues of financing.
okay, so where would they get this information, from you or on the website?
From me.
Okay.
For me. So Study Online is really great for study options, and there is an information hotline. However, we pride ourselves kind of being at a grassroots level and keeping that information with us, and it's often helpful if I can speak with somebody individual to see if they are in one of those target groups and just provide them with very specific resources for funding.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for your presentation, Colleen. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and happy holidays to everybody. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Happy
Same to you.
holidays.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, then continuing on, resolution number 329-20. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Mullins, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held November 24th, 2020 be accepted as circulated. All those in favor? Resolution number 330-20, moved by Councillor Staffier, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the special council meeting held December 1st, 2020 be accepted as circulated. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 331-20, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council approve the expenditure request and approval to proceed from the Ontario Clean Water Agency to complete an electrical assessment of the wastewater treatment facility in the amount of $23,330, including applicable taxes. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Is this something that's mandatory, by the way?
The electrical upgrade?
essentially.
So, if we didn't approve it, that wouldn't be a good thing. Like, you know, so why bother, you know, like, I don't get that, but. you know.
It's that the equipment in there, all the electrical equipment in there has gone so corroded over time that, there's concerns that, you know, it may potentially cause, is a concern for safety risk. And, you know, again, you have a lot of sewer gases in there, so depending on the assessment, you know, we'll have to determine if we have to put in any explosion-proof, electrical equipment, right? So, it is, very much needed.
But, you know, I guess the point being, Doug,
So this
Any
electrical
expenditure.
assessment has already taken place.
No, it will be, taking place. as
Will
soon
be
as
taking
possible.
place.
will be taking place.
But you don't know what that's going to, you know,
That's what it's gonna cost us for them to do it.
just for the assessment.
But, I mean, any expenditure has to be approved by us. Even
No,
though.
I
Right.
get that, but I'm just, we don't have a choice in the matter.
Not really.
Not
No,
really,
you
no.
know, that's my point, I'm saying, you know, so it just seems like it ought to be automatic, whether, you know, we don't really have a choice in it, do we?
Well, we do, we do, I mean, I
Well,
can,
no,
I can
we
say.
don't, Dan.
Well,
If
yeah,
you
no,
don't-
no, logically or realistically, we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But we still have a choice, you and I have a choice, whether it's a good idea or not. But I think we all agree it is a good idea, so that's why I'm going ahead with it.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say it's a good idea, because we don't have a choice, you know, like, I don't know.
Well, it'll fail otherwise, so it could all fail.
Right.
Well, I guess the other side of that is if we just said, oh, yeah, well, we gotta do it, go ahead and do it, and if we don't have an estimate, then what do? We just give them an open book to go ahead and do, they've given us an estimate, and we're
This,
approving that estimate, they're not gonna go over it.
this allows us to receive an estimate.
And to try and control, understand that it needs to be done, but at least we can control the cost.
Right.
Okay? Resolution number 332-20, moved by Councilor Mullen, seconded by Councilor McGrath, that bank debits paid out of the general bank account in the month of October 2020 in the amount of $39,341.61 be approved and ratified. All those in favor? Carried. Approved. Resolution number 333-20, moved by Councilor Staffier, seconded by Councilor Mullins, that checks issued on the general bank account in the month of November 2020 in the amount of $359,942.86 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 334-20, moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Morrow, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of November 2020 in the amount of $53,773.70 for payroll be approved and ratified. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 335-20, moved by Councillor Stafur, seconded by Councillor McGrath. And bylaw 48-2020, being a bylaw to set rates and fees for water and sewer services, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Excuse me for a minute, please.
Actually, I'm gonna copy that and share it. Resolution number 336-20, moved by Councillor Mullen, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that bylaw 49-2020, being a bylaw to regulate traffic and parking in the township of Schreiber, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. I have one question on this chart in Schedule A. Is it, will all these be signed, all these restrictions? Maybe I don't pay attention, but the only U-turn sign that I know of is part of the, that I pay attention to is the one in front of the Catholic Church, so. So will these, are they all signed, or will they all be signed going forward?
Yeah, that is a good question. I can't say for certain if I do recall signs, for instance, on subway saying no U-turn. It should be signed though, and if that's the case where we need to put up signs, we'll double check.
Okay, good.
But with all the like U-turns and all, that's something that our bylaw wouldn't be enforcing. It would be enforced by OPP.
Okay.
Our bylaw will only take care of moving vehicles. Sorry, non-moving vehicles.
Non-moving, okay.
Resolution number 337-20, moved by Councillor Stafur, seconded by Councillor Mullen. The council accept the quotation from Bino Insurance, BFL Canada, for 2021 insurance coverage in the amount of $93,587 plus applicable taxes. All those in favor?
It's something that continues to increase, and I know there's a lot going on in terms of delegations to AMO, especially with regards to insurance rates. I don't know if the province is gonna be making any big sweeping changes, but,
I think, for our community, has there been a lot of claims in the past few years for insurance, or?
right, like, we do have a claim within the past 5 years, and working with the quotations we receive, they look 5 years. If there's even one claim in the last 5 years, they say, ooh.
Makes a big difference, eh? Yeah.
That being said, right, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly, how they're calculating
Yeah,
their premiums, right?
Everybody's lumped into the same, thrown into the same basket, eh?
Yeah.
One of the bigger concerns coming up is that very few insurance companies want to have anything to do with municipalities.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's,
So this is something we want to talk about at Roma. Because, the smaller communities like ourselves, and there's a lot of them around, we can't continue to see a $20,000 increase every year.
Yep.
And doubling of, your deductible.
Exactly,
Deductible has doubled.
Yeah.
It's getting very, very expensive, so
Yep.
we have to start lobbying and see what can be done when only one company is willing to bid. What choice do you have?
yeah, that's a tough one.
You have one company, and this is the thing, is there's no choice about insurance. It's, we have to have
Indeed,
it.
you have to
If
have
we
it,
don't
you
have
can't
it,
operate.
we can't operate.
Alrighty, I guess that brings to a close the council portion. We'll move into the committee of the whole and our department reports. Any questions, Director of Operations report?
The recommendation here that the council of the township of Schreiber purchase one new trackless 51-inch snow blower with sidewalk chute for $9,875, and one new trackless rear-mounted double agitator sander for $8,175 plus shipping and applicable taxes from Work Equipment Limited.
So these go on the existing one,
It will be going on the existing one.
but
But
the
you can
existing
transfer
one is on its way out.
Yes, it's, the attachments could be added onto a
Yeah,
new.
okay, so it's not like
Yep.
here, let's spend $20,000 and then we're
Exactly.
gonna piss it away in a year type of thing, okay.
Exactly. In terms of all the equipment, I was again discussing with the mayor today, a lot of our equipment right now is, at this stage, is running on prayers.
Yeah.
If we don't get it fixed, soon it's gonna be running on miracles, so.
So if you're talking about replacing attachments,
We'll, at this
Or
point, we'll be,
the whole
replacing
machine,
it. Not the whole machine, just the attachments.
and they're that expensive.
The whole machine is, the cost for the whole machine is $143,500.
Holy moly.
That's something we'd have to look
We're
at,
gonna be getting it next year.
at our budget for next year.
Well, how long are they expected to last? I mean, how old are these machines?
Yes, that's a good question. In terms of the machines, they kind of look at it kind of by hours of operation. That's kind of what they look at. I'd have to ask Red what the existing hours of operation are on it.
Or another good question is, how many hours do you expect to get out of it?
That is a good question.
And where are we at now? So, I don't.
I think one of the things we might want to look into is, and not on all equipment, because I do not believe on the trackless what we are talking about right now is leased. But I believe we should look into
Yeah.
at least one or two pieces of equipment.
Absolutely. We will need to have a strategy in place, and this is really, it goes in line with all our asset management planning.
No.
But to do a full circle when it comes to planning, again, the strategic kind of financing when it comes to our capital equipment and looking ahead into the years in the future. Okay, this is gonna last as however many years. Let's start putting maybe money aside to replace it when the time comes, because right now we're in a difficult situation where everything's failing at the same time.
And I think we've been fortunate to have staff in the years past and currently that can fix things.
Exactly.
And that's not exactly gonna be the case going forward, and
Yep.
the
Yep.
jimmy rigging stuff isn't gonna work, you know?
Yep.
It's gonna end up costing us more in the long run.
If you can find a happy medium.
Yeah.
I've always, we've looked into leasing before when I was working there, and it's just, we never pulled the trigger on it, I guess, and I think it's, at least for a loader, yeah, I think you gotta look into it anyway and then make the decision.
It certainly may have its benefits. I mean, a simple
Definitely.
thing that we lease here is a printer, and it's a beautiful system how that works, because technology gets outdated within 5 years. You get a whole new machine, and if it breaks down, you just have a phone call and someone comes to fix it, you know? It's, we will have to crunch the numbers to see what's gonna be better in terms of, financing it or purchasing it, or in this case, maybe leasing it.
So that's something you would do in conjunction with Red and the foreman.
Exactly. I think we all have to sit down from, again, executive to the team that's working on the ground there with these machines and come up with a plan for our capital equipment.
I know what's coming at us. Our equipment is very old, and you know, the time has come. We
Yep.
have to make a decision. You know, we'll all get together. Excuse me, and make the proper decision that is affordable at the same time. You know, makes sense for the people who have to run the equipment.
Yep.
You know, and the financial department has to deal with it.
So these
Okay.
attachments will work though on the existing,
Oh, yeah.
like this machine isn't gonna break
Right.
tomorrow.
There's no,
It's machinery.
I know.
that something else can go wrong
Yeah.
with the machine at any point, but yes, we're
The brand new
anticipating.
attachment won't break, but the machine is going on to break, right?
Yeah, I mean, is Austin gonna be pushing?
Well, that snow blower attached to the front end loader.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move into the senior program coordinator report.
Right now, I can say we're working very hard to get those hampers ready by the end of this week. It's like a factory in there.
They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Talking to Cassie, they're gonna be, I think everyone will be quite happy with, and there's 220 of them, 220 of them going out and for senior center members and others that are in need, so good stuff. So I could just do a little report on the next one if you want, on senior center meeting minutes. Talked about, the signage, the logo will be out shortly, you'll see it on the building, correct? And we approved that last meeting.
Yes.
There was a winner of bingo, that's good news. Actually, there was 5 winners, but first prize was $280 gift certificates that were for local businesses, and then a $100 gift certificate of costs that was shared for the next 4 winners. So a few winners on that one. Chair yoga, that seemed to be a big thing that could be done virtually, and that'll be ongoing in the new year. The phone calls, the phone tree Christmas calls to all the seniors in town from the committee members, that'll be going on shortly. Just call them up, see how everyone's doing.
Oh, very good.
Done that in the past, and,
Yes.
Received very well, so. And, The grant, the New Horizons grant, talked a little bit about that. That's gonna fund the Christmas hampers also. It's gonna purchase about a dozen iPads and working in conjunction with the library on having them available to anyone in town that needs it, wants to get online and do work or has to access or, I mean, everything's done online now, so it's a good resource for.
And will they be set up in the library?
Well, you can go and borrow them from, the library will take care of, the library already has, I think, 12 or 14.
Okay.
So there'll be a couple of dozen iPads available to community members, and the library staff was providing training on up until, they were shut down, so it'll continue on in New Year's.
Very good.
All good stuff going on.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Doing a great job. Any other questions on that? We'll move into the building permits and demolition reports.
And nothing really built. No building permits coming in for November.
Alrighty. Bylaw enforcement report. Any questions on that? Seems to be busy. Okay, the Schreiber Public Library Board. Meeting minutes. Any questions on that? Number 7, guidelines for the quilting room.
So it looks like everything's good to go for the quilting room reopening once facilities reopen here, so
Very good.
everything's ready to roll out.
Alrighty, fire department activity report. Questions there? Chief is with us tonight.
When's the new vehicle showing up?
It'll be this Friday.
Okay.
Gene and myself are going to meet Fort Garry at Longbow Lake, just outside Kenora. Picked up around noon. Should be back in town by 8 p.m. Friday.
Okay.
We have sirens and bells and whistles going.
Sounds like our trip down there.
Doug and I did that years ago.
From Vermilion Bay, we got off the train and fire trucked it home to Rossburg. Long story.
Alrighty, the next are the offer reports. Any questions on the next 3? Okay, that brings us into question period. Any questions this evening? Any questions received online? So we'll go into communications. Anything outstanding that anyone would like to talk about?
A couple requests for funding there. Number 2. This is essentially a request for funding via an advertisement.
Have we done this in the past, Nathan? Do you know?
They have,
Did it once
yeah.
One's right.
at the request of the council.
Any idea when? Not that it matters.
In
I
the
think
last,
probably 5 or 6 years ago.
yeah.
It's not up. How much are they requesting?
There's different options. It depends on what kind of ad you want to put in their military service recognition book. So
Wonder-
cheapest is
I wonder what this looks like. Has anybody seen one?
They have one, I believe, at the Legion. At the branch here, I believe.
I mean, how far back does it go? Like, as far as recognition goes, military service recognition book.
Back First World War, I believe.
Really?
I think so.
So the cheapest option is $205 for a 1/10 page black and white
business card.
Yeah, card. And the most expensive is $1,570 for a full color outside back cover.
So it would basically advertise your community and not sure what would go on it, but. Yeah. Your branch number, maybe Legion branch number in our community.
I believe so, yeah.
So it doesn't have any names in it or anything like that?
Just give the money to our Legion.
What was that? Just
I'd rather just give it to our
just
local.
donate it to the
Yeah.
local Legion?
The local Legion.
Or a local
Yeah,
one,
that's
at least
good.
you know it's benefiting
Right.
the local one.
Okay.
Yep.
Next one is number 3. They got in touch with me again for requests for funding over here.
I thought someone was gonna come to and do a presentation here at some point. It was probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we had, I can't remember if we formally requested it or not, I thought we did. I suppose we could contact them again.
Can do a virtual delegation.
Sure. I think we could at least we could do that.
What it's all about, before we commit to anything. Everybody fine with that?
Yeah.
Any others you'd like to touch on? Okay, then we'll move on to the unfinished business and our resident Christmas decorating. We have in front of us 20 people that have been selected.
Based on the number of votes.
Yeah, based on everybody went out and had a look around and.
Where did all these votes, 4, 3, 2,
From us.
yes, I know, but,
So if there's 4 votes, that means that 4 councillors put their name down.
I wish there was an address to go along with it, because that's the only way I can recognize. Well, I had, not that it matters, but I don't know. There was at least 2 that were there last year. I don't know if there was,
Quite a few that were here from last year.
yeah, no.
But there's a few new ones too,
Yes.
which is good.
Could be, but I don't know, because all I kept track was my address is dead.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I'm on the list or not. Not that it matters, but,
Well, yeah, you would be, especially with the 4 votes.
well, there would be 5 of us looking at this, Dave, or,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there were 5 of us.
Whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Everybody fine with that?
Yep.
Okay, then we will
Set my name.
send the word out. Alrighty. Other business, we'll start with number 1, the ICIP COVID screen local government intake application.
Yeah, so we put in an application for this. I know that we were talking again originally about the wastewater treatment plant upgrades. And our provincial contacts did forward the letters that we sent out, but we did not hear back from the program administrators for the ICIP fund increasing our intake. Right now, we're capped at 100,000. And I really didn't want to lose the opportunity to use that 100,000, so I again put in a project for development of a park, and we'll pursue that.
Okay, thanks, Nathan.
Yep.
Any questions on that?
Perfect.
But is, when I was reading it, is that that's the development of a park downtown?
Mhm.
But is the other park gonna stay where it is?
Like at Mallory Blue or?
Yeah.
Yes, like, in terms of just making the application stronger, we're saying that, again, Mallory Blue Park is, we've identified that the playground equipment there is aging and eventually will need to be replaced, but we're looking at, again, funding for the park downtown, playground downtown in the meantime.
Okay, because I mean, there's some history there too.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep, but we won't be, ripping out anything without having a plan for replacement, certainly.
Okay.
Any other questions? Then, number 2, Councilor Morrow, building closures.
Yeah, I know the whole situation was very fluid and everything like that, and it was changing, but I guess in the future, should situations like that occur, I personally would like to know, not through social media, that this is happening. Like I don't think as a counselor, my wife should be saying, hey, the buildings are closed, and I didn't know about it. I don't know if anyone else might have known about it before that. I don't know if I was just out of the loop or what, but like an email or something would be good, or just like a heads up.
I will take
Is
responsibility.
that okay?
And I apologize.
Oh, no, I'm not looking for an apology, it's just, yeah.
But you deserve one.
Oh, thank you.
We fell down on it, and if some people were not informed, then.
Yeah, like, and I get it was a crazy situation or whatever. And then, so the closing of the buildings, I totally understand, and I don't take COVID lightly or anything. I'm just wondering if you guys, like the control group, would look at the municipal office opening a little sooner than like, I get the arena, it's a gathering place, I get the rec center and all that, but like this, I feel like this building lends itself to distancing and safety much more than anything else. And I don't know, as taxpayers are paying for this building to be open, and I mean, we have everything, we paid for the plexiglass and all that, and now we just lock the doors? Like, that, it doesn't make sense to me. This building in particular. The other ones, I get it.
Yeah.
So, I'm just looking for.
In terms of this building, right, it's not only our facility, it's also with regard to drive test, DSAB. So we get a number of people coming in for all kinds of things, especially you're talking about like drive tests, right? It could be people from neighboring communities as well if they're trying to take advantage of the certain schedule. Part of our overall concern was just the number of cases going up in Marathon. And originally, when our control group had met, we were saying, like, where do we draw the line in terms of the next step we need to take to ensure that people are safe here, whether it's employees and residents. And we kind of said, if the numbers keep increasing in Marathon, we're just so close to Marathon, whether it's people here who work in the mine or people from Marathon who come to, for instance, Terrace Bay. Our two towns are so socioeconomically connected that we were very much concerned that, one of these cases could easily spread to our community, and just wanted to take every step we can to make sure for employees that everyone felt safe coming into work, because we still, unlike a lot of other organizations, we still are getting employees to work not out of the office, but actually in the office, and to maintain that level of safety, we do want to make sure that they feel safe in every way possible. Hope that's some sort of.
No, yeah, I
explanation.
understand that. I just, for me, I just worry that being so proactive might be misconstrued as overreactive,
Yep.
or as a regular citizen could have saw that whole situation as something really bad is happening in Schreiber.
Yep.
And we still haven't really clarified anything.
Right. I have had conversations over the phone with some concerned residents and explained, this kind of a situation. Number one thing, which we want to say is, in terms of any, confirmed positive cases, there are no confirmed positive cases I know to date in Schreiber. But when it comes to the procedures and policies we have in place for, let's just say, anyone who may think that they may have come in contact with someone who may be a potential positive case, moment I hear of that, I need to take it seriously, and ultimately we need to make decisions, and that's the hard part. Whether we take a decision or no decision, it's still going to be construed as some sort of choice that we made. And the main thing is to make sure that there is no claims against us in terms of negligence, because with COVID as it is right now, we don't know what the case law is going to be down the future, where people say that we were exposed to COVID through your property or your facility. That hasn't been really determined. In terms of personal injury, though, the level is very low for municipalities, and we know that as a fact, that whether it's the whole thing of joint several liability has been just simple slip and falls on sidewalks, and we get a lawsuit. So with regard to COVID, I'm very concerned that there's going to be someone winning a case, let's just say in Toronto, and personal injury lawyers are going to go crazy over that, and I know we're in a fortunate position. We haven't had any cases confirmed here yet. I'm concerned with the number of cases in Marathon. I think it's now 16 confirmed cases there, that it's very close to coming here. And when we were making this decision for the building closures, it was to tie into the fact that there is a lot of travel happening. You have a lot of people coming home from other places and into our community, and also you have a lot of people who are going to be traveling out and then coming back after New Year's. So it's difficult in finding that balance, and I've heard it from both sides. Some people want us to have some sort of policy in place where we can prevent people from going from Marathon coming into our community. On the other hand, some people would like to see policies where things are still more open and it's kind of business as usual. It's hard to draw the line when it comes to this, because it's an unprecedented case, and try to get as much information from neighboring municipalities to see how they're doing things there. But ultimately over here we have to determine what risk level we're comfortable with. In terms of anything that the emergency control group puts as a decision, again, ultimately council's decision is the ultimate decision, and if it is an area of concern, council can certainly take a second look at the closure schedule that we have. So there is that capacity for council to change that decision should it be the case.
Yeah, I totally understand everything you're saying. I get it. You guys spent all this time coming up with a reopening plan and policies and procedures for all this, and I just feel like you're just saying, let's just shut the doors. Right? And I understand why. You explained it perfectly. Mm-hmm. However, there is policies and procedures in place to keep people safe with the doors open at a building like this. I get the arena and stuff. I get that. That's harder to control. It seems super simple to control here. And I could be wrong. That's my opinion on this. I don't know if anyone else wants to weigh in.
It's
I
certainly,
certainly understand your concerns, Dave. It is not easy, and we certainly don't do it just to aggravate people.
No, that's not what I'm
That's
implying.
not the intent. Safety absolutely has to be first and foremost, and if our employees that work in this facility are not 100% comfortable, we have to take that into consideration. Understand, we put a lot of safeguards into place, and to just turn around and close it again, it's a whole different, I believe it's different than it was at the beginning, because there was nobody within the communities on the North Shore, but now it's getting closer all the time, and they're continuing to increase, and we're just trying to be proactive and without panicking. I hope people understand that, but I do understand that there are some frustrations.
Yeah, I just see, like Marathon already talking about opening things back up. And then we're closed until January 15th. It's hard to justify that to a taxpayer, besides saying we're trying to keep you safe.
the main thing from the taxpayer perspective is if any employees here end up getting COVID,
Yeah,
it's gonna be, I don't know how long we'll be out of commission. That's my main concern, is that we have a lot of, we're a bit of a skeleton crew, and if it's even a few employees, like, out of service, and we have to wait for tests and all to come back, it's gonna really throw us out of the loop. And again, the main people we want to 100% make sure we keep safe is Public Works and our rec department, because we need to make sure that the snow is cleared off of the streets, and if they're not there to do that, we're going to have some serious issues. So it is difficult in terms of finding that balance, but you're right. We need to hear all different perspectives on this, because it's a situation where we have to make an emergency decision. We have to go about making that decision, and usually it's safety that comes first as the main priority. But
I think we're almost, this isn't gonna go on forever, we're almost
no,
there.
yeah.
We're almost there, the vaccines are coming. A few more months down the line, and we're gonna start normalizing again, so.
If I could comment on the length of the closure to January 15th, I'll be honest with you. My concern, and I believe the others in the emergency control group, is Christmas and New Year's. And since there's a 2-week period from the time that there's an event until people may be exposed, or whatever period you would like to call, let's go back through the year. There have been a lot of people who didn't listen to not gathering on July 1st, not gathering on Labor Day, not gathering at Thanksgiving, and now the biggest holidays of the year, Christmas and New Year's, are coming up. And we just felt as a group that let's give it 2 weeks after New Year's to make sure that this thing doesn't go through the roof. And if everything is great now that the vaccine, may be available to Thunder Bay residents and within the next few weeks, that's great. But there again, from a safety perspective, I would just like to wait for that 2-week period after New Year's to make sure that it's not going to go crazy on us. And if everything is fine, we have a meeting on January the 12th, and if everything is good, then we can make a decision on which way we're going to go.
I was just gonna ask you about that next meeting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not by any means saying be unsafe.
No.
I'm just,
I understand.
I feel like this building is super safe in terms of come in, you wait outside, you go through one door, someone leaves, sanitize, next person. It just made sense to me that way.
I suppose another point on that is the Christmas season. There's very few people come here anyway,
Yeah, exactly, so.
you know? So
But-
to keep it down, to close it for an extra couple of weeks, we didn't think was really inconveniencing anybody, because there are still, you know, the staff have dealt with this before, and although people couldn't come in, they could meet them outside, they could do a lot of things to help them out. You know, we just thought at the Christmas period, it wouldn't hurt to stay closed for.
Should someone want to pursue something important, we will find a way, whether it's we have to go out in the cold or, you know, and that's the thing is we will do, if there is some sort of situation where someone has to come in, we will do screening to make sure that they can come into the building at that point.
Good. I was just looking for some clarification, so.
Yeah,
thank you.
appreciate it, Dave. I really appreciate the question.
It is a good point, it's a difficult balance to find, you know, it's really hard.
Yeah, and I guess I'm personally only hearing the one,
Yep.
hearing the
Yeah.
sign of
Yeah.
overreaction a lot from
Yeah.
people around my age and then stuff like that.
I fully understand it.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions on that? Okay, so I guess our last item is the outdoor rink. I've had different people approach me about, since the arena is closed, could we possibly get the outdoor rink going again? I had an email from one young lady, and I promised her I would get back to her on this. A lot of other people have asked the same thing. Could we put the ice in the outdoor rink and, you know, give the kids and whoever a chance to get some outdoor activity? So what are your thoughts? Should we put that ice in and try to get that?
I thought it would have been a good idea a month ago or more, but, is this just happening now that because the arena is
Yes,
closed?
yeah.
You know, like,
Because, you know.
the next thing you know, the arena's gonna be open. So, you know, which is the best way to go?
Well, I think,
Who's gonna do it? Like physically, where's that gonna come from?
well,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk to our public works to initiate it. We've had offers of volunteers to help out with whatever needs to be done, whether once the ice is in, if they can shovel the rink or, you know.
I think the main thing is to see if there's agreement around the table here, if everyone, should we have the logistics in place to do the outdoor rink? Is everyone in agreement that that's okay and that's what you'd like? Because the next step, once I get that permission to go ahead, is I'll meet with staff to check again, what's the logistics that we need to do in place to make sure that we could get that rink good to go.
Wouldn't take long, I mean.
No.
We're not,
Especially with the weather now.
we're not really behind on it if you look at the weather.
Right.
It's been kind of
When I've been there, I'm not saying it wasn't in once or twice before Christmas, but it's usually right in January. My take on it is, if we can get one of the guys or the fire department to put a flood on it or whatever. I know the neighboring community is doing it, and it was all on a volunteer basis. I would love to see some volunteers step up too and help out.
We've had some offers of that,
That's great.
you know.
When this Zamboni used to come downtown, were they full of water did they flood it?
They were full of hot water, yeah.
So why couldn't they just do that again?
I'm not saying they couldn't, but no, to originally flood it, you have a hydrant right there. But you don't want anybody just opening a hydrant. You want Public Works or the fire department operating that.
Right.
But I mean,
don't
I would
think we
love to
looked
s-
at it earlier because we knew we were gonna open the arena, and we did open the arena. And, going back a few years, when we did have both, the outdoor rink wasn't being used very much. Obviously, a lot of people would enjoy to be indoors more. So once we decided we were gonna open the arena, we'd take a second look at the outdoor rink, and now is the time. It's not that we don't wanna do it, but now that the arena is closed, yeah, then I believe it's a good thing to do, but what's everybody's thoughts?
I think you could go ahead and do it, with a group of volunteers too, and, all COVID, social distancing and everything that would have to be followed, of course, but, our kids, we're not without the arena. We can go to terrace, but our kids need something to do here in Schreiber, and I'm for it.
Everybody else feel?
Yeah, I mean, if our guys put it in, but the maintaining of it, I think, should fall on volunteers. Like you said, we have a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
I don't wanna, pull people where we can't even pull anyone from.
Especially with vacations now coming about.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you go ahead and do that, just keep in mind, the time it's gonna take to get this off the ground, et cetera, but if the arena ends up back open again, then, it's, I don't know how attractive it's gonna be once the arena's open,
Well, we have to take that road when we come to it. If there's a group of volunteers that want to keep the outdoor arena going and
Like the last-
want to have nothing to do with the arena if we end up opening it up.
The last time the machine came downtown, it was flooding here,
Yeah.
What month was that, and how long did that last? Does anybody remember? Nobody keeps notes of this stuff, did that happen in January, or how long did it
I
happen?
don't think we should be driving the Zamboni to this rate.
Well, that's what was happening, Dave,
I know, I get it, yeah.
and
I don't think that's a good idea. I thought you meant spray the ring with a hose and make some ice.
well, you can do that, but
Are we talking bring the
Zamboni
Zamboni?
was coming downtown.
Yeah, it
But-
used to,
but
but
I'm
you
just
need a
wondering-
Zamboni for an outdoor rink?
How long did that go on for?
No,
I'm not saying it wasn't a good idea, I'm just saying
you just brought it down once or twice a year. Bruce would bring it down once or twice a year with a hot water flood to make everything smooth,
well, there you go.
down at the outdoor arena, but
Right.
But your initial flooding of the outdoor arena and everything, you would use the hydrant right there.
Well, sure.
But like I say.
Right.
And then you get the volunteers to shovel off if town can do it with the snow blower, but there's always shoveling and there's always something. And personally, I'm for it now that our arena's shut down, and if and when we open our arena back up, if people want to keep shoveling snow and doing the outdoor arena, if the volunteer base is there, great.
So what I'll do is I'll have a chat with the Director of Operations tomorrow and try to put together a plan to see to what extent staff will be involved and if we have to come up with a plan for volunteers, we'll check that, but we'll take a good look at how we can get this working as soon as possible.
Okay.
Sure.
Everybody in agreement? We'll try and get the ice in the outdoor rink. Okay. Then nothing further. Resolution number 338-20, moved by Councilor Mullins, seconded by Councilor McGrath, that the closed meeting resume at this time. All those in favor? Carried, thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Have a very Merry Christmas.